right. I mean, I can't even fake it right now. Welcome to Cricket for Americans. That's right.
I
No,
don't want
no,
this
no, no,
smile
no,
to
no, no,
move.
no.
Get a smile on your face.
No, welcome to Cricket for Americans. This is another edition of our 3 Wickets. Put up the 3, Gabe, for the thumbnail. Give me the thumbnail, my friend.
That's all I get.
This is out of control right now. This is tough to talk about. But I will say at the very beginning, I have not lost a faith. I am just ticked off. Nick here.
Gabe, can I send you a virtual hug right now? Just hugs. Doesn't Nick look like you need a hug, everybody? Virtual hugs. It's
You
okay.
give me a hug, I'm going to knock you out.
Stop it. You don't believe that, bro. I'm telling you, it'll be what's his name? Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather Jr.
You give me a hug right now, I'm going to try it. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh gosh. You know what, guys? Honestly, it's so funny, right? Because then last night, and I didn't realize you were still up. Right at the end of the game, I was like, yes, let me go ahead and text Nick right now. And Savannah was just like, oh, text him, Australia won, have a good night. And I look at her, no, that's not digging into the skin. Absolutely not. Okay, I wouldn't dig in there, okay?
Yeah, you can't really claim too much responsibility for this win, okay? I know you're working, but come on, man. Especially last night, you showed up for the last 13 minutes? Last 13 minutes? Australia's thanking you that you took back your little job because you did not watch it for more than 13 minutes.
The Australian fans are thanking me, bro, because they're like, as soon as the game get here, Wickets starts falling.
Yeah. They were saying it like, man, the Indian fans, bring Gabe on now. We need Wickets to fall.
Oh, God, that was so funny, man.
So we're talking about the Indian tour of Australia. We're talking about the first test. It has been a long time since me and Gabe have watched some tests, probably 5 months at least, and I mean on the stream at least. And so we were excited to check this out. These are 2 teams that are just international draws playing against each other, unbelievable. And we're gonna do the best we can with our 3 Wickets to talk about this. It's only 3 days. This test match. All right, we're gonna leave some stuff out. I'm just preempting with that right now. Gabe, where should we start?
I think that what we should start in when we're talking about this test series is from day one. Let's just look at day one immediately, because we had some back and forth with all our subscribers, right? And the CFA Nation, the family, about these lineups, okay? And I think it contributed both to Australia's slow start first day, okay? Australia was not in good shape when me and Jihan got off. We're like, oh my gosh, all right, just being real. We were like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like oh, that was the second day, actually. Excuse me. And the same thing, India. Like, I'll take the Australia side. You can take the Indian side. Okay, our 3 Wickets. Where do we want to start? What did I not like? Okay, day one from the very beginning. I don't understand. And I'm going to sound dumb because everybody's going to say, but look at what Wade did on the last day. Yeah, look what he did on the first in his first innings, all right? Joe Burns. Burns just saved his cricket and life with that 50. He just saved his cricket and life with that 50. All right. On Australia's side, come on. I get it. There's no Warner. I get it. He's not informed. He's hurt. I understand that. But why do they hate young guys? Is there a rule like if you're young, like and people keep saying, yo, it's politics or whatever, but is there some kind of rule that says if you're a young guy, you can't get on and play? You know what I'm saying? You got to earn your stripes. Let me carry your bags. Let me you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I have to do? Okay, do I got to take 50 lashes? That the punishment in order to get on there? Don't somebody tell me and look at me seriously and say, oh yeah, Burns or Wade is better than Philippe. Stop it. All right. And everybody's like, well, Philippe's probably going to be playing. I guess the commentator Shane Warne was talking about it. And they were, because he was going off. And Philippe probably will be playing for the next test. All right. But, okay, what about this test? I don't understand. Somebody made the comment of, oh, this may be Wade's last test. He's like 37. And I don't care. You want to put somebody in there that's subpar just because this is his last test? Put him on the team. He can wave to the fans, but he can't be on that field. Not when we need him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. So to your credit, and I know you have some complaints about the India side as well, Nick, but that's one of the things I did not like, okay, as far as Australia is concerned. Okay, and I'm like, you know what? As if you're gonna put a product on the field, you got to put on the best product on the field, and it's tough. Listen, I tell you, I got so much hate, Nick, from my own family members. Derek Jeter, I don't know if you remember his last year, his tour with the Yankees. Derek Jeter is a beloved player, not just by the Yankee fans, but all Major League Baseball. All right, he was the Jordan of Major League Baseball. I mean, he became the icon. How many players have you seen the farewell tour, the commercial, remember, where Michael Jordan, all the other players are tipping their hat, David Ortiz, Boston fans? Wow, look, I got to clip that in this right here. That commercial was so powerful and so awesome when it was, respect. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody
awesome and wonderful as a Yankees fan. I'm telling you guys, says a million times before, the rest of us could care less about Derek Jeter and the championships he got for the New York Yankees. He was not the Michael Jordan of baseball. Stop it.
Again,
for Yankees fans, maybe, but not for the rest of us. Stop.
All I'm saying is the entire baseball world. Okay, give me at least that. How many other players get that retirement at every single field when they go
Trevor
there?
Hoffman got that.
They get that. Well,
right?
He was a great.
Rivera got that.
Mariano too. Those guys.
I'm not going to call Trevor Hoffman the Michael Jordan of baseball, though.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's the second best coach of all time. You know,
but Michael Jordan is the GOAT, though.
Good point. All right, I'll give you that. I'll concede that. Yes, there. What I'm saying is that the reason I got into this was I was the one that got upset because that year, people remember, the Yankees weren't playing too well, and you know where they were batting Derek Jeter? I'm like, he needs to be down at 9.
Number 2.
He needs to be down at number 9. But no, that's disrespectful. You can't bat Jeter down at 9. I don't care. He's old. He's not producing. He's not helping the team. That's just real. Bro, my older brother wouldn't even talk to me. This is the one that, by the way, to Fenway Stadium, got into that kerfuffle, got us all into that kerfuffle, the crazy one that would not go to Trey's baseball game when he was in Little League because he was a Red Sox. I'm like, tell him, they're not actually affiliated with the Red Sox. He's like, how dare you let your son put on a Red Sox uniform? How dare you? Yeah, this is that, brother. But you know what I mean, dude? It's like, for me, maybe I'm too ruthless, but I just don't understand playing a guy based on just loyalty. Does that make sense? You got to do what's best for the franchise. The Yankees are the first team that'll tell you we play for the name on the front. That's why we got no name on the back of our jerseys. Bottom line. You play for the Yankees, you don't play for Jeter. So if he's batting 220 his last year, 230, he should not be batting at the number two spot. My point is, I don't want to see Burns or Wade in there ahead of Philippe again. And Australian fans, if you're being honest to yourself, had we lost to India, this is what you would have said too. Okay, if it wasn't for, when I talk about what I liked, if it wasn't for an amazing performance by a captain that, of course, I had trashed the day right before the innings, I trashed, and they said, "What game? Eat some crow, smack me around a little bit." We probably lose this series, and everybody would have been crying about, "Oh, why do they put those two guys in there?" So for me, Nick, that's what I did not like about this series. What did you not like, my friend?
All right, so just a few points there. With Wade, he's actually only 32. I thought he was older too. I think they said it in the test, and maybe we just misunderstood. I'm not sure. But he's only 32. I like Wade a lot. I just don't like him as an opener. But I like his game. I like his ability to score. Joe Burns, maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. They didn't have a lot of pressure when he hit that 50, but, still congrats to him on that. So, India. What did I not like day one? Did not like the lineup, just like you said. The lineup, Prithvi Shaw, I don't understand that. Mayank Agarwal, maybe he's gotten a lot of experience in the matter, but he didn't impress me on either of his innings. This is a situation where they started so slow in day one, so slow, and I'm sitting here, and it's been a long time since I watched Test. The first time I've seen Indian play live, and I'm like, this is super slow, and I keep mentioning it. I said, Nick, we're not worried about the wickets, but not worried about the score. And I don't want to get too much into that because I really don't understand enough about it to be able to question the slowness or this or that, right? But India just seemed off to me. Whether it was a slow start, Australia didn't start off too much faster when they went, so maybe it was the pitch. But my main problem was Prithvi Shaw. I did not like anything he had to bring to the table. I did not like the fact that he went for a duck on the second ball. He went for 4 in the second innings, but everybody went for 4, so it doesn't really matter too much. He was dropping some catches. Pujara, he got 43. Look at the stat table, but 160 balls, right? And it doesn't really matter now because the game ended in day 3. The only reason I would complain about that is if it ended in a draw and we had the lead or whatever. So, I mean, he had to do what he had to do, but people say he's just a magician. He's a magician, and he got 43, but he ate up so many balls. He was supposed to wear out the Australian bowlers, but then the Australian bowlers still were able to show up, right? They definitely were able to show up in their second innings. Kohli did, we'll get to him in what I liked, but Rahani's run out, that was killer, right? And I was on the stream. Trying to look at both sides. Could Kohli have hustled? Yes, he could have hustled a little more, but it probably wouldn't have mattered. It was a bad run out by Rahani. He said go. Kohli liked to try to get as many runs as he can in between the stumps, and he got caught out there. Rahani said go, and then 2 seconds later, he went back. He didn't even trust himself. Kohli didn't have the fortune of being in Rahani's mind. That run out was killer because Kohli was doing what Kohli does. He was at 74 for 180. He was doing the best job, in my opinion, in tests as far as eating up balls and getting your runs where you see him. He was rocking and rolling. And at the end of the day, it probably wouldn't have mattered because of their second innings. But that run out was killer. And it seemed like after that run out, it seemed like India was not the same. Fahari, 16. Saha, 9. Ashwin, 15. The tail end not wagging whatsoever. But what did I not like mostly was day 2. It was pathetic performance. I said it many times in the stream. There was no heart. There was no heart whatsoever. They looked in the eyes of the Dragon of Australia, and they whimpered, and they cowered. Look at this line game. This is a line in a test match for runs. 4, 9, 2, duck, 4, duck, 8, 4, 4, 1. Not one person in double digits. Mayank is the leader with 9 runs on 40 balls. I mean, that line is atrocious. And then, I mean, look at how they got out. Bowled by Cummins. Edge. Cotton bowled by Cummins. Edge. Edge with the fumble, but he still caught it. Edge. Weak, soft dismissal by Saha to Labuschagne. And Edge. I mean, these bowlers were coming nasty. Isn't there a thing in test, Gabe, when the bowlers are that amazing that you just defend as much as you can? They couldn't even defend. Right. They were trying. They couldn't even defend. Right. They didn't get out because they were being aggressive. They couldn't even defend. They got outclassed. This was the worst loss, a worst inning in India in like 50 years. I think this was their lowest score ever.
Second lowest score ever in test. Second lowest score ever in test. I think the other one was,
as far as I know, as far as innings goes. Their lowest ever. How many times did we clown Ireland when we found out they were 38 all out? India beat them by 2 runs.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
It's nothing to take away from Australia bowling. The bowling was masterful. That was not luck. That was amazing bowling. I'll save that for you and what you like because you better mention that. That was fantastic. My man who loves bowling. But I got a lot of my aggression out in the stream, but I was going on for about an hour about how pathetic it was, how pitiful it was. And Prithvi Shaw, he's an opener. He's an opener. He sets the stage. He sets the table. How did he set the table? I hate to keep going to him. But come on. Don't get me started on the night watchman nonsense and how that did not work out. Don't get me started on how Pujara is supposed to be the master of draining it out, lasting it out. I'm not going to get out foolishly. You got out after 8 balls on an edge. I mean, nothing was working for India whatsoever. And then guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We lose Kohli for the next match. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Insult to injury. Shami was that last wicket. He was retired hurt. There was no one else left in the cupboard. This is not looking good. And this is why I'm going to mention just for a second. I mentioned a lot in the stream. This is why I don't care about experience. I don't care about age. As a new cricket fan, I don't care about any of that garbage. I want someone who's hungry. I want someone who's not going to cower. I want someone who's not going to be scared.
Right.
Give me a Padikkal. Give me a Bishnoi. Give me a Sky. Give me Gill.
Right.
Give me Gabe for crying out loud. Because I know Gabe's not going to cower. Gabe is not going to cower. He may not get any runs, but he's not going to whimper. There is no heart whatsoever.
I'm also not going to drop that ball that Prithvi Shaw dropped. Just saying.
No.
You didn't mention the drop. You didn't mention that drop.
In his hands, his fingers don't work no more. He's got to get that checked by whatever doctor checks out fingers and whatnot. Absolutely. Don't tell me about. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I still heard the argument yesterday about experience and about they never played tests before. These guys have played tests and they were 36 all out.
Guys, just so you know what I'm doing. I got no popcorn, so I'm enjoying this. So I got to get some apple juice. Go ahead, man.
You got to be kidding. I don't want to hear that argument. I don't want to hear that argument. I don't want to hear, but this is Australia, Nick. You don't send out Paddicle and Bishnoi for the first test in Australia. How did it work out? You can't give me that argument this time. And I'm telling you right now, Gabe, I'm going to end on this from what I did not like. I'm going to end on this. I'm telling you what right now, Gabe, and you can join too because we've both been screaming for this. Whenever Bishnoi and Paddicle do get to the international squad, whatever year it is, as soon as they go off, guess who's never going to shut up about it? I will never shut up about it because we were right.
Bro, it was funny because I got the same kind of backlash in the IPL when I kept talking about Chris Gale and everybody was like, oh, he's old, whatever. Yeah, he's old. He did better than everybody else on that team other than KL Rahul. Are you kidding me? Like, sometimes these mentalities just drive me crazy. Oh, KL Rahul can only open. Really? He batted fine at third. Stop it. So first in the IPL, he can only open, but now he can't open in tests. Like guys, it's not that complicated. It really isn't. Talent is talent. Bottom line, you can play or you can't. I just want to. I want to disagree with you when one thing you said. Who won the first inning? India. That Kohli wicket was so huge because they won 244 to 191. Mind you, it's because Kohli went down, and then after Kohli went down, of course, Rahane goes down. They had the two highest scores. The second, actually, Pujara had 43 on that team. That one, if Kohli's up there all day long, as we've seen him do sometimes and go off, he looked like he was poised for a century.
Is that what I said?
All right.
Is that exactly?
No. But what you said is it wouldn't have mattered. I think that's where the momentum shifted. Because you saw even how upset and frustrated Kohli was. Maybe he carried that into the locker room. You can't tell me if he showed disgust right there on the field with Rahane. You don't think that translates back to the locker room? I guarantee you it did. And there had to be that tension already in there, if that makes sense. And sometimes, the team feels that the pressure. You said something beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna say what I didn't like, and I already mentioned I did not like the Burns, and everybody just said, Gabe, they scored 50 and they scored 38 respectively, Burns and Wade. What they scored in the first inning when there was actually pressure on there, 8, both of them 8 on 100 balls basically. Why? Because there was no pressure. Second inning, there was pressure. In the second inning, there was no pressure. Up until that point, India was rocking and cruising, and that was such a huge run out. And like you said, it was because again, Rahane had no heart. He had no if you're gonna take the single, the minute you hit it, you know if it's a single or not. All right, don't second judge yourself, because that's not playing with confidence. All right, and once you go, you don't let your captain, you don't hang him out to dry like that. Could Kohli have handled it better? Yes, but you literally, just one play, Nick, one call in the game can change the momentum. And to me, that's what changed the momentum. Because go back to our stream, Dr. Jihan and I, we were almost laughing about it. We're like, man, this, you know what I mean? Like when we left the stream that night, the run out still hadn't happened. And we were like, this does not look good for you know what I mean? This does not look good for Australia. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, what? 244? What? Kohli got running out. You know what I mean? Kohli actually didn't get himself out. It was Rahane who got him out, and that changed the whole momentum. So that's why I'm saying I was disagreeing with you, because to me, India won that first inning, and that was such a big momentum shift that I feel it affected the team. And
if I can just say, in my defense, Test is a game of 2 innings, right?
Right.
Unless you're suggesting that they would have gotten 100 or 150 more, which, I don't want to disrespect Australia that way. It really, when I say it didn't matter, look at how Australia reacted in the second innings to India's batting. All class, right? One of the most historical performances of all time. That's why I say at the end of the day, it did not matter. Could they have gotten another extra 20 runs, extra 50 runs, extra 70 runs, extra 100 runs? We'll never know, right? But I'm not going to say, especially when I saw Australia for every other ball after that they were going to give up 100 runs because of that one, misplay. It definitely didn't help. And if it did carry on second innings, then you got a point there.
And think about it. If Kohli does not go down and bats on to the next day, you know what I'm saying? Which we've seen him put up 100 plus, 150 plus, you know what I'm saying? And that partnership with Rahane, because Rahane was actually batting well too, keeps going and it's not broken up. Australia had no answer for that partnership at that point. You know what I'm saying, dude? I just think it was a big momentum shift. And that's my opinion. So what did I like? All right. What did I like? The bowling.
Oh, here we go.
The bowling. Australia. Oh my gosh. The nuclear arms, okay? Oh, that's one of the reasons why I chose Australia more than anything, because they have the bowling. In baseball, they say pitching wins championships, right? Hitting will get you to playoffs, but if you don't got arms, you're done, cousin, all right? Nick's team this year, the Padres, were the funnest team to watch. Most walk-offs, Young, Manny Machado, what's the shortstop's name? With Fernando Tatis. Slam Diego, they called them. But in the playoffs, I was like, man, you're in trouble. And Nick knew it to his credit, because they lost their two openers. Or not openers. Look, I'm using cricket terminology now. Their two main starters. You can't win a playoff series like that. And to their credit, they did. They won playoff series without their arms. But they lost Daniel Lamet. They lost Mike Clevenger. It's just tough. Right now, Australia, to me, has the deepest bowling in the world. As much as I respect Stuart Broad and as much as I respect Jofra Archer, Jimmy Anderson is a little long in the tooth. What's he got? Maybe another year plus left. And after that, the other bowlers are question mark. Look at Nick's face. Wokes! He loves him some Steve Rogers over there. But compare. I mean, bro, Mitchell Stark, the first inning, 21 overs, 5 maidens, 53 runs, 4 wickets. 4 wickets. Yum, 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 yum. Give me those wickets. Hazelwood got him 1 wicket in the first over. He got himself 5 in the second inning. Pfeiffer, Michelle Pfeiffer, so sexy. Oh my gosh. Patty Cummings, the best a man could be. 3 wickets in the first. 3 in the first. I mean, dude, it's ridiculous. Look, you got your boy Nathan Lyon, whose actually economy rate was the highest, got himself a wicket in that second inning. 324. I mean, the bowling is so deep. And the new boy, all right, Cameron Green, 9 overs, 2 maidens, 0 wickets in that second inning. I mean, in that first inning, I should say, Nick. And I think the bowling is what dominated, because even though India was playing well, it wasn't like they got hootied the way my West Indies got hootied. Okay, give it up 400 to New Zealand in those first innings, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's done. It's over. No, the bowling said, all right, Kohli's going off. All right, we're gonna keep, we're gonna stay in this. All right, we only gave up 244. We're still in this game. You know what I mean? Even had they given up 300, it's not 400. It's not 420 like some other team did. And listen, before anybody on here says anything, I'm from the Caribbean. I'm a West Indies fan. I'm just disgusted in that performance against New Zealand. But the bowling, bro, I cannot find anything to dislike as far as the bowling is concerned. Now, I was debating towards the end who's going to be man of the match. I stayed on to see who's going to be man of the match, because I was like, man, Patty Cummings is so sexy, but I think that now Hazelwood is, but no, they gave it to Tim Payne, where Gabe was wrong.
I'm fine with that.
Tim Payne, I'm clowning him, Nick. Me and Jihan are up in that first night. We're like, oh boy. The second night, actually, we're like, okay, because again, India won that first innings, and we're like, oh boy, here we go. We lost Smudge. We lost. There was no Warner, obviously. We lost Matthew Wade. Matthew Wade and Joe Burns to a combined 16 runs on almost 100 on 92 balls. Yeah, they're studs, all right. And then we're like, oh my gosh, Lobachek went off for 47, but we're like, what's gonna happen? And we were clowning with each other. We're like, man, well, we got Tim Payne, or maybe Jihan said it, realistically, and I said it mockingly. Tim Payne, yeah, okay, I'll hold my breath. It's like somebody instantly, I promise you, somebody on this team has direct lines to these players, and they just text them, hey, man, Gabe's talking smack about you again. It's time to go off. Either that, the cricket gods just like making me eat crow, bro. Holy cow. Tim Payne, 73 runs on 99 balls. I was wrong. He captained, like you say, he captained this team, Nick, with his positioning of players, getting some great wickets, helping on catches. He could do no wrong. Why? Because I talk trash about him. He could do no wrong. Oh, I have no problem when he can get a man of the match. So that's what I liked. I don't like the fact that I ate crow, but I like the fact that the guy who, and it's not just me, everybody's talking about when is Smudge going to take back over as captain. You know what I mean? I don't think he should. Think he should. This guy took this team when it was in the worst of the worst, Nick. We remember watching the show, and seeing how many games Australia had lost and how down in the dumps they were. And he took a broken ship and righted the ship. You know what I'm saying? You let that man captain until he got no more playing in him. Okay? Until he's got no more playing in him. I tip my hat off to you, Tim Payne. I was wrong. I will never besmirch your name. Okay, you are free from the Prithvi Shaw and Campbell Sinister Six list. You will not be on that list, my friend. Good on you, kid. Nick, what did you like?
So, guys, I'm just going to say me and Gabe are having some internet issues. So if there is some lag on the final product, we do apologize. We've tried to fix it a few times. Few things about Tim Payne first. All right. I believe that the two best batting performances, I don't care about numbers, batting performances, strike rate, boundaries, everything, was Joe Burns' second innings, Tim Payne first innings. Okay. I believe that. You guys are going to tell me about Kohli. I get that. Tim Payne almost saw 80 less balls, and he got almost the same score. But the reason why Tim Payne's is so much better than Joe Burns, like we've already mentioned, Joe Burns had no pressure. You got a guy at number 7 that can get you a strike rate of 73 on almost 100 balls in tests. Oh, my goodness. And he's the captain, but I'm going to give you this one little nugget. This one little nugget that I don't think anyone's talking about right now that I noticed in both innings when he was on the field. This guy kept his guys loose every single ball. He was smiling. He was sharp. He was telling his guys. He was positioned. This guy kept them loose. Some teams can't play loose. They can't do it. But you remember 2004 Red Sox, right? Right, Gabe?
Oh, my gosh.
The idiots, right? They were so loose, and they played masterfully when they were loose. So
they were down 3. Just so Nick explains, they were down 0-3. No team has ever come back 0-3, and they're talking about cowboy up, baby. I would have my head in the dirt. And then like you said, they were so loose. The Red Sox were walking around like they owned the joint. And I'm like, are they crazy? And they were idiots. But you know what? They called them the idiots because they were just walking around, and people, of course, the TV broadcaster and the reporters are asking them, you guys are down 0-3. And I think it was what's his name? Trent.
No, what was his name? Oh, you're so right. The leader of the idiots, almost, even though he wasn't their best player. What'd he say? He's like, man, we feel good. You want to know why? Because we got, don't let us get game 4. Don't let us get game 4. Because then we got Kurt Schilling, we got Pedro, we got Derek Lowe. Don't let us win this game. I can't believe his name, but yes.
He's got his own show. Yeah, he's got his own show now on like MLB network. I forget his name, but man, intentional talk. Yeah. And that was just their attitude. They were just so new. And guess what? It was also led by their captain, Jason Varitek, who it just you play the way your captain, leads you. And man, wow, I can't believe you made that analogy. You're so right. It's like Tim Payne led them through the storm. Like, guys, we've been here before. It's all right. Hey, how's the wife? How about your ugly kids? You know what I mean? Just keeping it, just honestly, just having fun. You know what I mean, dude? And I still remember the test, you know what I'm saying? When he's back there talking, having fun. He's like, come on. I know he's your captain, but you can't really like the bloke. You know what I'm saying? When he was talking about goalies. And you see the players even crack a smile. Like, that's hilarious. That's one of the things I think you also miss with Pant. I love Pant behind the ditch, bro. All the time. Yeah, exactly. And having fun and that catch.
You gotta keep him loose.
Exactly.
And I think, like, honestly, I've always talked about Kohli's aggressive captaincy style. And I still get comments, Gabe, that say, like, he's not aggressive at all. Like, okay, whatever. But I think that with his aggressive style as a captain, you got to have a Pant to kind of balance it out. Yeah. Like, it's almost like, dad's going to come down on us, but mom's going to show us the love. Like, you've got to have that balance, right? And you're absolutely correct there. So what did I like? I'm going to mention, well, hold on. Before I completely disrespect my squad, India, all right? Before I completely disrespect, I'm going to mention 3 things that I liked, all right? One is the bowling for India in the first innings. That was great bowling because Australia's in Australia. We saw what they did in the ODI grounds. This is a different ground. They came to play, and it starts with Bumrah. He started off stronger, then he kind of tapered off a little bit. My man Umesh, he had the same economy rate as Boomer, so don't tell me about economy rate. He got himself 3 wickets in that first innings. And then Ashwin. I wish the guy could bat. The other guys can't bat either. But I wish he could bat because he could be a very valuable guy for India's test squad. 4 wickets. He had an economy rate of 3, but I'll give those extra few runs in tests if you're going to give me those wickets because those wickets are so valuable. And I really, really like that. I don't want to take anything away from that. The biggest problem with their bowling, though, which is why I can't give them a whole lot more love, is their length was just off the entire time. They were bowling too short time and time and time. I'm not sure if they were just off. I'm not sure if they thought they were the smartest people in the room, but that short bowling, that short length was not working for them whatsoever. But I'm going to give them love because they got wickets when they needed wickets in that second day. Now, the second thing I liked, King Kohli. I have a love-hate relationship with this guy because he's the captain of 3 formats. When I see, wow, someone's the captain of all 3 formats, and the formats are so different, especially the limited overs to tests, this guy must be an amazing leader, right? I have a love-hate relationship with the leadership. I gave him a hard time with the hustle and the run-out. Love-hate relationship. But very rarely if I ever question his batting besides in the IPL, I will never question it again. This guy is the heartbeat when it comes to the batting side of India. Are you telling me that Kohli has been doing this for a decade now and they can't find anyone that can go toe-to-toe with them as far as India's side? You can't give me someone to supplement. You can't give me someone, maybe 2 or 3 guys that can get at least half of what Kohli can get on an average day. This guy hasn't got a century this year, Gabe, and it's like the sky is falling because this guy gets 3 or 4 centuries every single year. This guy, like you, to your point, batted masterfully. Even though he had a whole bunch of balls, I don't care. He was staying in there. The run out got him. Rahane got him. Friendly fire got him. But I love what he did on the batting side. When he came in, and I loved his decision because I hate the night watchman, but because of the night watchman, he was able to push himself down to 5 and see what happens, whether any kind of storm that happens in case they lose early wickets, which they did. They lost early wickets. And so I loved his decision to put himself at 5. It didn't work out. He got himself a boundary the very next ball. He had an edge that I think he reached a little bit too far for, but, Australia's bowling was that pat, where it was really not too much. I'm not really mad at him for that. His batting is amazing. He's one of the best batsmen, if not the best batsman in the world. He's going through a down spell in 2020, but who's not, right? Who's not going through a down spell in 2020 besides who I'm going to get to on the main thing I liked. All right? I'm going to break code.
Can I interject for 1 second? He's going through a down spell. All right, that's your love-hate relationship. What about my smudge? What about my smudge? At least you get the. How dare you? He's going through. What is Smudge going through?
The difference with that, Gabe, is in me and Kohli's love-hate relationship, Gabe's not involved. In yours, Gabe is involved, and that's why Smudge is doing that. You know that. Come on. All right.
Doing it too much.
So now comes to my one thing I liked. This is the one thing I liked. All right. And I'm going to lose a bunch of, if I have any fans that are Indian fans because they know that I am honest with the team, they're going to leave me right now. What's the one thing I liked? It's an Australian named Josh Hazelwood. This guy was an amazing revelation. This guy, I got to give this guy some love. What does the audience always tell us, Gabe? They keep us honest. Good cricket is good cricket. This guy was a masterpiece out there in this historic collapse by India in the second innings. Hazelwood and Cummins were every bit a part of it. But Hazelwood, he had 2 double maiden wicket overs or double wicket maiden overs. He had 2 of them.
Disgusting.
He had 2 of them. This guy had like 4 curtain calls because he was just that amazing. This guy, and I noticed it in the very first ODI in this tour. This guy is the new nightmare. Stuart Broad is the old nightmare, the OG old nightmare. But Hazelwood is the new nightmare. I was saying, because this is what I'm going to say about him, Gabe. I said it in the stream, and I kind of like it. Humble brag on myself. He is the only man ever to be born in Themyscira. The only man, because he's godlike, for crying out loud. This guy is a demigod. This guy, him and Hercules hang out and they have beers together. This guy is unbelievable. He destroyed my Indian squad, and guess what? I came out of it loving this man. This guy is such, and I asked the guys in the comment, how long has he been bowling like this? They said from the beginning.
Yeah,
from the beginning. And all you hear about is Cummins and Stark. Hazelwood, it's like, what did Apollo Creed tell Rocky? You thought I was tough. This guy will kill you. Hazelwood just killed them all. He's unbelievable.
Bro, it's funny. With Hazelwood, he's on CSK, and Jihan says, why didn't CSK play him this year? Exactly. All right. He got like 2, maybe 3 games tops towards the end.
Like championships.
I don't know what they were thinking. And people are going to say, oh, because, it's a different bounce, different pitch. Obviously, CSK's biggest issue was that they had too many international players, and they couldn't take out Curran, right? They waited forever to take out Watson, which they said they'd done earlier. But we already covered that when we talked about the IPL. But yeah, bro, Hazelwood is a savage. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if your sticks aren't battling, I could say Australia can go out there and defend any score. I don't care if it's 150 because their bowling is that good. Don't forget, we talked about Stark. We talked about Hazelwood. We talked about Cummins. There's a man named Nathan Lyon that it's painful to watch him bowl, but this guy wears you down. And the battle between him and it was so interesting. The battle between him and Punjara, right? And he just kept coming at him, and Punjara kept, to his credit, just fouling it off. Not, well, we say fouling it off, but basically, defending, and he finally got Punjara, okay? But that's the kind of guy that he's not gonna, you're gonna hit me for a few runs. I'm a spinner, but you're trying to attack me, falls right into my plan, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Ashwin. I remember with him with the DC Capitals. Even though DC had Rabada, even though DC had oh wow, I'm forgetting their second bowler, their main bowler. Norkia, yeah, thank you. Ashwin got himself tons of wickets, and it's the same thing. Come and get me. Yeah, okay, you want to come and get me? You want to take me yard? Thank you, give me that wicket. You know what I'm saying, dude? And the bowling is amazing. It's funny though what you said a minute ago with how you could earn respect for a player that destroys your team. I hate Stuart Broad, but I love him. I hate Stuart Broad, but because he demolished the West Indies. All right, I guarantee you. I guarantee you, Campbell still wakes up in night sweats right now thinking about, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Campbell does. You still wake up in night sweats thinking about that.
All right, 3 wickets, 3 wickets on 14 balls. Are you kidding me? But bro, that you respect it when you see greatness, and you're like, oh wow. You know what I mean? Bro, I got so enamored with Stuart Broad, I started doing research to see if I could trace his lineage back to the Caribbean somewhere and say, no, he's got to be playing for the West Indies. His great grandfather was from Barbados, and he was there for like 20 minutes or whatever, so he could play for us. You know what I mean, bro? Like, I'm telling, what team would not take Stuart Broad in tests? Same thing. What team will not take Josh Hazelwood in tests? You know what I mean, dude? It's masterful. It's masterful. I mean, I guess I'll move on to what I learned. I learned that Test is a different animal. I knew that, but we have watched so much ODI and so much T20. Like you said, the last test we saw was Pakistan live, was Pakistan versus England, I think it was. So, it had been a while, and we had gotten T20, these high scores or whatever. It's a slower moving game. I remember why I loved it, because it's a game of strategy. And the reason I loved it the most, if this was ODI, Australia loses, guys, because it's just that one day, right? We lost the first day. But it's, can you beat me for the whole series? Can you beat me over 4 or 5 days? Because, yeah, you win the first. You can win the first, all right? It's like, you know what I mean? The first, you're writing a book. First a half of the book is done. But you still gotta write we can still write that second half of the book, all right? We can still finish our story. And that's what I love about tests. Like, okay, fine, you got me day one. Anybody can have a bad day. I ate some bad food, whatever, okay? I didn't have good sleep, okay? Whatever. Can you do it again tomorrow? How about the day after that? How about the day after that? And that's the beautiful thing about tests. I'm not going to lie. Watch that first, guys, go back and watch the first stream with me and Jihan that first night. And we were like, oh my gosh, this does not look good. And we were like trying to be confident. And then when it got, I think the day two, when it got down to Tim Payne, I'm mocking it like, yeah, Tim Payne. Think about Tim Payne. I said that before he even had one ball. They scored 191, which they still lost the innings. But take away that 74 or 73 from that 191.
100 or something like that, yeah.
What's that score look now? You look like now. You know what I'm saying, dude? So I'm like, bro, it's the beautiful thing about tests. It's a war of attrition. All right. Boomer, yeah, you look great day one. You took your wickets. Ashwin, you look great. But can you do it day two? Let me adjust to what you're doing. Oh, we see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Can you adjust? It's a game of adjustment. And to me, as much, and I'm wearing my CSK stuff right now, as much as I love the IPL, I'm sorry. Test is still my favorite format of the game. Still my favorite format of the game. Nick, what did you learn?
Wow, I learned a whole lot. I learned that, first of all, this is where Gabe's going to smile a whole lot. In tests, I believe that the bowling depicts how the outcome's going to go, 100%. If you have bad bowling and the other squad scores 400 runs, I'm sorry, it was bad bowling. If you get 36 all out, that's not bad batting. That's great bowling. The bowling dominates in tests. I wouldn't say it dominates in the other formats. Definitely doesn't dominate in T20, but it dominates in tests. And think about this, Gabe. Australia didn't even need Nathan. They didn't even need the spinner for the second innings. They got all that on pace, which is what makes sense in test, but they didn't even need Nathan Lyons, and Nathan Lyons a bad man. He's got 391 career test wickets. Australia had got themselves punched in the mouth in Cape Town. Complete embarrassment. Stripped of your captain, your vice captain. You bring in Tim Payne, who someone said on the stream yesterday couldn't even get a Tasmania contract 2 years ago. He's going to be our captain? But what was the smartest thing they did, in my opinion? In my humble opinion, what was the smartest thing they did? They hired themselves some JL. This guy is the man in my eyes. This guy is like near Bill Belichick in my eyes. Because guess what? I don't know Shastri from India. Not a big fan. Where's our JL at, huh? JL and the selection committee and Tim Payne and those players that did not say, die. Look at where they're at right now. They only needed 4 guys to chase that 93, and they lost 2 wickets. Look at this guy, Cameron Green. If this guy pans out, there's an all-rounder you're talking about right there. Tim Payne at number 7. I mean, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? And I understand this is the other thing I learned. I just got Australia, okay, in test. I just got that. I got a big old dose of humble pie. I was on a test winning streak. Not in Australia, though, Nick. Get out of here. Not in Australia. Now, I'm not saying the series is done. We got 3 more matches, and I'm super excited to see what we can get right now. But Australia is no joke in Australia. That bowling performance is one for the ages. Gabe, they haven't had a bowling performance like this in 10 years. We are part of history, and someone said that in the stream. I said, I don't care about that. I want to win, but I do care about that. This was history we saw. That bowling performance was amazingly masterful. One of those situations where you're the home squad and your home team's getting beat up and you're giving a standing ovation for every wicket because it's just unbelievable what you see. I learned that bowling dictates test. That's what I learned. I learned that India, we've got to figure out something. Got to figure out something. And I learned that I loved it just as much as we used to. It's great. Perfect holiday gift, even though India got destroyed. But the question is, what did you guys learn? Let us know in the comment section. Thanks so much for joining us. And yeah, I'll get to Gabe in a second. I just want to say thanks so much for joining all the streams. We appreciate like 15 hours of streams. You guys dialed in. You guys checked us out. Let us know what you liked, disliked, and learned. And Gabe, we're going to close it on you, my friend.
So one other thing I was going to mention to you, Nick, and that's why it just on me. All right. Somebody mentioned that this was the very first time India had faced Australia in pink ball. Right? That India.
I think the first time they ever faced, was it anyone in pink ball or was it just Australia the first time?
I think it was maybe Australia. Not sure. Let us know in the comments. But here's my point. Okay. The pink ball, the ball and the pitches are so different in cricket, right? And if every nation, including my West Indies, aren't right now working with that pink ball as well as the white ball, as well, you know what I mean? As well as then you're crazy. You're setting yourself up for failure. I refuse to believe that this is the first time India has worked with that pink ball because it does move differently. So that's both different, not just for the bowler, but for the batsman. And for the batsman, you would say possibly even more because they're not sure how that ball is going to react once it bounces. You know what I'm saying? How's it going to swing? And I thought, and I was just something else where I was wrong. I said, "Oh man, pink ball, that thing is like so. It's almost like a highlighter, just like or you know what I mean? What do you call that color? You know how the neon, yeah, like so it's so bright, it's so easy to see. The scores are going to be huge." No, they're like, nah. With the twilight, with that pink ball, yeah, it's easier to see because of the twilight. You need it, but the ball just reacts differently. And I would hope that let us know in the stream, if this is the first time India has faced a pink ball, they're crazy. They should have had some international friendlies and made it pink ball. Does that make sense? Schedule it so there's pink ball because you're going to face it eventually out there. You know it. So I don't know. I still prefer the red ball to the pink ball, Nick. But sorry, my watch. I still prefer the red ball to the pink ball, Nick, but I don't know. What do you think?
I prefer the red ball just because I'm a traditionalist. The pink ball, I don't know. It's going to take some getting used to. And obviously they don't use it a lot. They use it for day-night kind of situations. But I just don't know if I can attribute too much blame or credit to the pink ball. But I know very little about it. I know very little about the history of it. But that's an interesting point, guys. Let us know what you think about that as well. Thanks for sticking around. If you stick around for the entire 50 minutes or so, we appreciate it. We will see you next time for the next big cricket event. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time,
that's 6 runs.